Hi, it's time for story time. My name is Miss Melissa, and this is Miss Kim, and we're from the Fayette County Public Library. Our first story is going to be The Gingerbread Man.
The Gingerbread Man by Jim Ellsworth. Once upon a time, there was a little old man and a little old woman. One day, the little old woman said, "Let's make a gingerbread man." "Yes, let's do," said the little old man, and they did. So they mixed up the batter, and they rolled out the dough. And they shaped the little arms, and they shaped the little legs, and they shaped the little head. And with raisins, they made the little eyes, and the little nose, and the little mouth. And then with sugar glaze, they dressed him in a fancy suit of clothes. Isn't he cute? When all was set, they put the gingerbread man into the oven, and they waited. Pretty soon, a delicious smell coming from the oven told them that the gingerbread man was ready, and so were they. But when they opened the oven door, out popped the gingerbread man, and he ran across the floor. The little old man and the little old woman could hardly believe their eyes. The gingerbread man looked up at them, put his little hands on his hips, and said, "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." The little old man reached down to grab him, but quick as a wink the gingerbread man ran out the door and down the road, and the little old man and the little old woman ran after him. Come back," they yelled. But the gingerbread man just looked over his shoulder and said, No, I won't come back. I'd rather run than be your snack." And he kept on running. And he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And after a time he met a butcher standing in front of his shop. The gingerbread man looked up at him, put his little hands on his hips, and said, "Run, run fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I've run from a husband, I've run from a wife, and I'll run from you too. I can. The butcher reached down to grab him, but quick as a wink, the gingerbread man ran on down the road, and the butcher ran after him. "Come back!" yelled the butcher. Not far behind, the little old man and the little old woman were yelling too. "Come back! Come back!" But the gingerbread man just looked over his shoulder and said, No, I won't come back. I'd rather run than be your snack." And he kept on running, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And after a time, he met a black and white cow. The gingerbread man looked at her, put his little hands on his hips, and said, "Run, run fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I've run from a husband, I've run from a wife, I've run from a butcher with a carving knife, and I'll run from you too. I can. The black and white cow reached out to grab him, but quick as a wink, the gingerbread man ran on down the road, and the black and white cow ran after him. "Come back!" yelled the black and white cow. And not far behind, the little old man and the little old woman and the butcher with the knife were yelling too. "Come back! Come back! Come back!" But the gingerbread man just looked over his shoulder and said, No, I won't come back. I'd rather run than be your snack." And he kept on running, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And after a time, he met a muddy old cow. The gingerbread man looked up at her, put his little hands on his hips, and said, "Run, run fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I've run from a husband, I've run from a wife, I've run from a butcher with a carving knife, I've run from a cow, all black and white, and I'll run from you too. I can. The muddy old sow reached out to grab him, but quick as a wink the gingerbread man ran on down the road, and the muddy old sow ran after him. "Come back!" back!" yelled the muddy old sow. And not far behind, the little old man, the little old woman, and the butcher with the knife, and the black and white cow were yelling too. "Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back!" But the gingerbread man just looked over his shoulder and said, "No, no, I won't come back. I'd rather run than be your snack." And he kept on running. And he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And after a time, he met a fox. Do you know what a fox is like?
Look, he's sniffing.
They're kind of tricky. What do you think might happen now? The gingerbread man looked at him, put his little hands on his hips and said, "Run, run, fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I've run from a husband. I've run from a wife. I've run from a butcher with a carving knife. I've run from a cow and a muddy old sow, and I'll run from you too. I can, I can." "What did you say?" asked the fox. The tricky fox pretended that he couldn't hear well. "I'm not as young as I used to be," he said. "You'll have to come closer and speak louder." The gingerbread man stepped closer, and in a very loud voice he said, "Run, run, fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I've run from a husband. I've run from a wife. I've run from a butcher with a carving knife. I've run from a cow, all black and white. I've run from, and I'll run from you too. I can, I can." Just then, the little old man and the little old woman, and the butcher with the knife, and the black and white cow, and the muddy old sow came running around a turn in the road, and they were yelling, "Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back!" The gingerbread man looked over his shoulder, but before he could say a single word, the fox jumped up and grabbed him. And quick as a wink, before he could think, with a snap and a snick and a lap and a lick, the gingerbread man was gone. The little old man and the little old woman, and the butcher with the knife, and the black and white cow, and the muddy old sow all stood and stared sadly at the fox. He hadn't left a single crumb for anyone. Riddle, riddle, ran, fiddle, fiddle, fan, so ends the tale of the gingerbread man. Were you surprised at the ending? Were you hoping the gingerbread man would get away?
Yeah.
I sort of was too.
Cause on the gingerbread baby, he got away from the fox.
Yeah,
The fox couldn't catch him.
yeah. They write different versions of these stories, and that one was a little bit different.
Now, Miss Kim read you the book, right? Do we remember enough of it to be able to retell it with our flannel board? Okay. I am the gingerbread man trying to run away as fast as I can. Who is the first person in the story that chased me? The old man? Can you put it up on the board for me? And I kept trying to run, and the old man followed me. Who was the next person that came after me? Was it the old lady? Can you put up on the board for me? And we ran and still trying to get away. And the old man followed me, and the old woman, and then came the butcher man. Good job. And then what came next in the story after the butcher man? It was the cow. And we ran, and little old man, the little old woman, the butcher man, and the couch was chasing me. And next came the pig. Can you put the pig up there? And so the gingerbread man came running with the old man, the old woman, the butcher man, the cow, the pig, and next came the fox, and I lost. And he caught me. Was that a good story? It's kind of sad, but it was still a good story, right?
First, until a fox ate it.
Until the fox ate it.
It's a little bit more tinier.
Are you ready for Miss Kim to tell you a rhyme? Yeah.
I have 10 little fingers. They all belong to me. I can make them do things. Would you like to see? I can make them jump high. I can make them go low. I can hold them quietly in my lap, just so. Would you like another story? How about Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Have you ever heard the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears?
Yeah.
Well, this one is retold by James Marshall, and it might be just a little bit different than the one you've heard before. Once there was a little girl called Goldilocks. What a sweet child, said someone new in town. That's what you think, said a neighbor. One morning, Goldilocks' mother sent her to buy muffins in the next village. You must promise not to take the shortcut through the forest, she said. I've heard that bears live there. I promise, said Goldilocks. But to tell the truth, Goldilocks was one of those naughty little girls who do exactly as they please. And look where she is. Meanwhile, in a clearing deeper inside the forest, in a charming house all their own, a family of brown bears was sitting down to breakfast. You see them in there? Patooey, cried big old Papa Bear. This porridge is scalding. I've burned my tongue. I'm dying, cried Baby Bear. Now, really, said Mama Bear, who was of medium size. That's quite enough. I know, said Papa Bear. Why don't we go for a spin while the porridge is cooling? Excellent, said Mama Bear. So they got out their rusty old bicycle and off they went, singing along the way, tra-la-la-la. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. A few minutes later, Goldilocks arrived at the bear's house. She walked right in without even bothering to knock. On the dining room table were 3 inviting bowls of porridge. I don't mind if I do, said Goldilocks, helping herself to the biggest bowl. But the porridge in the biggest bowl was much too hot. Patooey, cried Goldilocks, and she spat it out. Next, she tasted the porridge in the middle-sized bowl, but that porridge was much too cold. Then Goldilocks tasted the porridge in the little bowl, and it was just right, neither too hot nor too cold. In fact, she liked it so much that she gobbled it all up. Look what a mess she made. Feeling full and satisfied, Goldilocks thought it would be great fun to have a look around. Right away, she noticed a lot of coarse brown fur everywhere. They must have kitties, she said. In the parlor, there were 3 chairs. I don't mind if I do, she said, climbing into the biggest one. But the biggest chair was much too hard, and she just couldn't get comfortable. Look at her. Next, she sat in the medium-sized chair, but that chair was much too soft. and she thought she might never get out of it. Almost looks like that chair swallowed her, doesn't it? Then Goldilocks sat in the little chair, and that was just right. Neither too hard nor too soft. In fact, she liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the chair fell completely into pieces.
Okay. I've seen this before, but the characters don't look the same.
No, they don't.
But I know she's doing the same things.
Be a different illustrator in this story. Now, all that rocking left Goldilocks quite tuckered out. I could take a little snooze, she said. So she went to look for a comfy place to nap. Upstairs were 3 beds. I don't mind if I do, said Goldilocks, and she got into the biggest one. But the head of the biggest bed was much too high. Look at his bunny slippers. I think that's so funny. Next, she tried the medium-sized bed, but the head of that bed was much too low. Then Goldilocks tried the little bed, and it was just right. Soon she was all nice and cozy and sound asleep. She did not hear the bears come home.
Look, Baby Bear has all those toys out.
Look at all of his books. That's nice to see that little Baby Bear has all those books, isn't it? The 3 bears were mighty hungry, but when they went in for breakfast, they could scarcely believe their eyes. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Papa Bear. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Mama Bear. And somebody has been in my porridge, said Baby Bear, and eaten it all up. In the parlor, the 3 bears were in for another little surprise. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Papa Bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Mama Bear. Somebody's been sitting in my chair, said Baby Bear, and broken it to smithereens.
Hey, the words are showing on the mirror.
The 3 bears went upstairs on tiptoe, not knowing what they would discover. At first, everything seemed fine, but then Papa Bear lay down on his big brass bed. Somebody has been laying in my bed, he cried, and he was not amused. Egads, cried Mama Bear, somebody has been lying in my bed. Look, cried Baby Bear, somebody has been lying in my bed, and she's still here. How does Goldilocks look now? Think she looks happy? No? What does this look like to you?
Scared.
She looks scared, doesn't she? Now see here, roared Papa Bear. Goldilocks woke up with a start, and her eyes nearly popped out of her head. But before the bears could demand a proper explanation, Goldilocks was out of bed, out the window, and on her way home. Who was that little girl? Asked Baby Bear. I have no idea, said Mama Bear. But I hope we never see her again. And they never did. I think she might have been too afraid to come back. Did you like that little different telling of the story? Just a little bit different, wasn't it? Pretty good. Okay, I think Miss Melissa has something for us.
Okay, kids, this is actually for your parents. We wanted to share a parenting tip with you. When you're reading to your child, you'll notice that Miss Kim was showing pictures and pointing to items in the book. That makes it a lot more fun for everyone in the family to read. And the kids in the studio are nodding their heads. So it's important to read to your children every day. And they'll go along with the story. If you stop by at the library, we'll have activity sheets that you can do at home.
Or you could teach your child how to read so they can just read to yourself. Just in case you're too tired to read so much out loud, then you can just teach them how to read, because I know how to read.
I was going to say, my kids know how to read too, sir. But I will say it is still a lot of fun just to sit down as a family and read. Don't you think? So stop by at the library and pick up an activity sheet and just have fun, read to your kids, and we will see you next time.